Hey, what's up, guys? I want to share with you a Louisiana creamy red beans and rice recipe, very similar to Popeye's red beans and rice. You begin by adding 6 cups of water to your crock pot. Then you can start adding the spices. 3½ teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2½ teaspoons of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of MSG. If you can't or don't want to use MSG, it's not crucial to the recipe. I just prefer it as a flavor enhancer. Next, mix all your spices together. Now you can add your pack of hickory smoked bacon and your 2 medium onions. Both the bacon and the onions should be chopped into fairly small pieces because the ultimate goal is to have them be emulsified into the red bean sauce so that you're not left over with any chunks of meat or of onions. Now we'll add our dry beans. We'll mix this well because we want to break up any clumps of bacon or any clumps of onions so that everything cooks evenly and uniformly. We'll put the lid on and we'll go check it in a few hours. I'm going to show you the progression of the cooking at several different intervals. This is at 3 hours, where everything is just starting to come together. It's not necessary to remove the lid and stir, especially if you're putting it on before work and want it to be ready when you get home. This is just to show you the progress that it's making at different points. Here's the beans at 5 hours cooking. You can see they're really starting to thicken up some, but they're not quite ready. They're going to need another couple hours before they're ready to be done. You can see the bacon and the onions are still not emulsified into the mixture yet. At 7 hours, our beans are just about done. You want to carefully stir them, being careful not to crush the beans. You're basically just wanting to mix in any of the remaining pieces of bacon or onions into the red bean sauce. Some recipes call for crushing the beans up against the side of the pot to give it the creaminess, but if you put in the time to cook the beans properly, that is really not necessary. So you just want to give it a good stirring and make sure everything's nice and uniform. Now you want to add 2 tablespoons of Wright's liquid smoke. If you can't get Wright's or if it's not available where you live, I would suggest leaving the liquid smoke out altogether. And I say that because I have tried every brand of liquid smoke that I could find. And the only one that doesn't give an off flavor to the food is Wright's. And luckily it's available locally at several supermarkets, so I have access to it, but I would highly recommend Wright's or none at all. To finish things off, melt 1 stick of margarine into the red beans, stirring well, being sure that everything is mixed. This is one of the rare instances where I prefer to use margarine over real butter, but if you don't have margarine, you can use butter. Add some rice and the red beans are ready to enjoy. If you try this recipe, let me know in the comments what you think.